record, turn off. Hi, it's Frank here with another video after a while. Uh, Christmas is over, New Year's is coming, and I've been thinking about a lot of things. As you know, getting existential, all that. And before my most recent kind of motivation crash, I was actually making a lot of progress on my manga, which is now called The World Saga House of Robins. It used to be The World Saga Nomad's Journey, but the story changed a fair bit, especially when thinking about it. I think House of Robins is a little bit more accurate to the overall story itself. Uh, yeah, so I just kind of crashed on that because it's just that every time I keep thinking about the storyboard, even though I'm happy with the storyboards as they are right now, I'm on page 21, 22 ish. I moved 21 to 22, and I'm going to do an extra page in between 21 and 22. Maybe two extra pages, actually, now that I think about it. Uh, uh, I'm very tired. I'm very emotionally tired, and one thing I think kind of contribute to this crash is that I'm going to be actually teaching a class relatively soon. At the art studio where I work at right now, uh, the owner asked me, since I like to draw manga, I'm making one of my own, if I can teach a beginner's course on it, because they were being asked about manga classes a lot because they're an art studio that teaches a lot of classes, mostly just painting, but not a lot. But some people will ask occasionally, "Hey, do you do anime or manga?" Because my kid's interested in that stuff. So when it comes to that, uh, uh, they asked me. I said yes, of course, because it means that I get to work with them a little bit longer, make some money, and I'm confident that I can at least teach the class. But it kind of makes me realize how badly motivated I am uh, to work by myself. Because when I'm working with someone else or for someone else, or if I'm given a specific task that I know I have to complete because it will affect other people, it's easier to push through it. It's easier to push myself and motivate myself to go through it, even when I'm really tired, even when I'm really just not in the mood. I can still do it. For example, with house chores, I wash the dishes and stuff, and it doesn't matter how much of a bad mood I am, I can always, after at least having my coffee, I can go and wash the dishes. But for me, I just can't do self projects because they're so personal. And they only affect me right now. So it's hard to motivate myself, and it's hard to not down myself a lot because I have no proof that people would like this. I show people my storyboards, and they say that it's interesting, but it doesn't matter if it's not a complete product because I could always fuck it up partway through. I could always just ruin it. I can just always just make it bad. I know I can critique it. I know how to critique things. I know how to help people improve. I have helped a few art friends improve. I know I can give advice. I know I can do that. That's why I'm confident that I can teach the class. I understand making something at a creative standpoint to a very technical level, but it's hard for me to, implement it. And parts of me constantly fight over whether or not, is it my depression, is it my autism, is it myself, just me being a slacker, is it something that I can control more if I can stay motivated. I i want to do this stuff, but even recently, this has been happening to me with just games, just video games, things I used to enjoy, is that it's hard just to motivate myself to play a game that I even like, because I'm always constantly fighting with myself, oh, you're just slacking off, you're just doing this, and even though I need emotional reprieve, I can't even have that because I'm always just fighting with myself with it. And it was better for a while. I need to check something actually on my phone. Do. Boop. Boop. Yeah, okay. So basically, I had a timer on. Because one thing I had to turn off there is that I often turn on a timer when I play games. I turn it on for an hour or two, and say, okay, I'll have this amount of fun, and then I'll get into drawing for like an hour or two. Then I have a timer, and I'll switch back and forth, and that has helped me a lot. But it's just, even now, it's just like when I'm thinking about it, it's like, because I even thought about like, I need to make a YouTube video. I need to I have it in my Google Calendar that I have. Oh, here's a soft release date once a week to remind you. Do a video, at least attempt one, even if you don't release it. And I have been doing that for weeks. I barely been even live streaming. I haven't been really enjoying much. And what fun I do have with games, I just kind of ends with just a burning sense of failure. And when I draw, that same sense of failure is for the entirety of it. Like, I have truly ruined the joy of drawing for myself. And that's one thing, like, in my class, I'm definitely going to teach kids about is don't worry about being good. Don't worry about being the best. It's great if you're aiming to. It's great that you're trying to. But don't let that be the only reason why you do something. Let that be a way to help you improve, but not the reason why you do it. Because you really do need to enjoy yourself. And I used to enjoy myself. I used to draw every single day in, day out. For a while, like, when I was still able to and still enjoy drawing to some extent in high school, when I thought I ruined it for myself, I filled like 3 sketchbooks in 3 months. I finished a sketchbook a month. Like, full 70 pages, both sides, every month. 3 months in a row. It just happened because I enjoyed drawing and I tried to learn new things. I wasn't just drawing 3/4 heads all the time. It was a lot of it because that's my, like, even what I have right here. It's my comfort zone, but it's. I was drawing dynamic bodies. I was drawing perspective. I was drawing objects. I was drawing animals, fantasy creatures, and I was doing all sorts of things. I was experimenting with inking styles. I was doing stuff with character designs. I was designing a lot of characters, just all the different ideas I had. But now I can barely even draw characters from the World Saga without just thinking about how crap I am. Even though I'm just trying to get better. It's literally the thing I'm trying to get better with. You have to do it to get better. You don't get buff by sitting in a chair. You actually have to work out. And I'm just sitting in my chair, not drawing. And it's just been really hard. And even though I said to myself, hey, this week at this like kind of like winter little break I have, I'm just going to kind of try to enjoy myself. Like, first half of it was fine. I was actually kind of feeling better a lot of the time. But even now, it's just like, I feel like I should be doing something. And when I try to do something, I feel like, no, you can't do this. Don't try. And it's just that over and over and over in a cycle. And it's hard to break that cycle. It's really hard because I built it myself. No one told me to be like that. And it's just like I always cycle myself to be like or condition myself to be critical, be better. I guess you can kind of say I was kind of told to be like that because, as I said, I'm autistic, and one thing a lot of the time when people tell you when you're young is that you have to learn how to be normal, learn how to be socially acceptable, and I went for a lot of that in special ed and how to, see social cues and stuff, which I'm still really bad at. I read the room wrong all the time, and it's really bad. I hate it. But even then, it's just like, this is something I still willingly delved head into. When I say this a lot, but when I first started to learn how to draw, one of the things I did to myself, which I thought was good at the time, and that actually helped me improve a lot. Like, I became, not to toot my own horn, I became one of the best artists in my middle school because I decided no excuses. I'm not allowed to say, oh, it's just my art style. I decided not to say, oh, I'm not just going to draw the same thing over and over again, even though I still did. Because I thought the people who did say that sort of thing were annoying. I didn't want to be like them. I wanted to be better. I wanted to draw better. I wanted this to be my thing, and I really enjoyed improving how fast I did. And I also still like drawing. I liked drawing before then, and I just was getting better at it. I was understanding things. When I learned how to use guidelines properly, how to draw a face from watching Mark Curley tutorials, that felt so awesome. Like it was like one of the best feelings I ever had, that I can just have this confidence in just finally doing something good, something objectively better than what other people can do, instead of just being always just worse. It's actually one of the reasons why I liked early math classes, because I was always the one who got A's in them. That was my only A class back in the day. It quickly became not my A class, so like starting with second year high school, because that started to become too complicated for me. I was really good at simple math, and I'm still decently good at simple math. I just haven't practiced it in a while. But in general, it's just like when I feel like I can be good at something, I feel really confident in it. It's one of the reasons why I like playing video games so much, because I like being good at them. I like, doing things right. And I also like trying to trick out the system, and I like breaking things occasionally. Like, because it's fun. It's fun to do that. That's why I kind of like Risk of Rain 2 a lot, which is a game I've been playing quite a bit. I think I have like almost 100 hours now. But basically with that, it's just fun to play, because you start out weak and then you get stronger. You choose what items you want. If you find a 3D printer you could convert all your whites or green items into that one item, and then it's just like ridiculous, and it's just like awesome, and it's just, oh, it's so good. And it feels fun to do good, which is one of the reasons why drawings are so hard for me, because I want to do good. People say I'm decent, and people say I'm good. Like when I'm part of like a little Discord with some people, and whenever I post my art, they always like it. They usually just say that it's like, oh hey, that's neat, and I'm like, cool, that makes me feel good. But it's not like it's almost like immediately after being told that I'm good at something, like I just have to hate it now. Like I just, no, it's not good enough. It's because of that mentality that I developed back in middle school around sixth grade, when I first wanted to become a manga author. Because like I needed to be good at this. I wanted to be good. Like it's not because anyone told me it had to. It's because I wanted to. I wanted to be really, really good. I want it. I just don't want it to think it's good. I want to know it's good. So that's why, I'm so hard on myself. But because of that, I end up critiquingly paralyze myself. I just don't do anything because of it, because I'm scared of doing bad, and I'm scared of not seeing any improvement. And I'm at that point in my art skill where I'm improving at still the same rate, but it's not like an appreciable rate. Because back when I first started, your art sucks. Like I said, when I first learned how to do guidelines, do 3/4 head turns, face on stuff, and all that, it's like, oh man, I can do good, because like you're going from zero to nothing, and even if you're always getting that, let's say, +2 to your art skill stat, eventually it's not going to be percentually as large of a jump anymore. Uh, and now, like, I'll probably say I could probably like make it to like a +5 or +6 every step, but even then, like, it's a high enough number where it's not appreciable. But if I compare it to other people's numbers, it's not as high. Uh, I think things in a lot in game stats a lot, because it's easier way for me to explain it. But yeah, even though it's not bad, I'm like a lower mid tier fighter. Like I can do some stuff. Like I have some tricks. I got some zoning skills, but not much to make it worth it in tournament, and things like that. you know, viable kind of, if you really like me, but otherwise not getting in any top eights in funny game tournaments, sort of thing. Maybe a top 32 with a randomly good player. But aside from that, like, it's just hard to see your progress after a while. That's why I like sketchbooks so much, because you see your progress. Like, when I go back to some of my older sketchbooks, I'm like, hey, I really like this drawing, but I know I can do better now. Even just one sketchbook ago, or even just the beginning of a sketchbook. Like, if I look into some of the beginning parts of this, I know I can draw a lot of this better, but it's kind of hard to, like, mentally, like, acknowledge it fully. Even if I, like, when I first drew, like, this head, like, I really loved how that watercolor came out. Like, I used the watercolor brushes I have right here, actually. I drew that, I think, yesterday, maybe the day before. And I just really liked how it looked. I especially love how the rest looked. And stuff. And it's just that, like, even though I like it, it's just that it feels like a fluke rather than something that I did. Even though I know I can do it again. I know I can do this again, but, like, the cynical side of me that hates myself just says, oh, it's a fluke. Don't care about it. Do better. No excuses. And I'm now making excuses about anything I can do good sucks. So, like, and since it's so far ingrained to me, like, even though I know it, I don't know it because I don't try it again. I didn't immediately, because I was essentially, it started out as a sketch that I was just trying to design, like a demonic looking knight with teeth as like a big part of the design for the helm. But after I drew it, it's like I didn't want to draw another one because I didn't want to, like, prove myself right or wrong. It's like Schrodinger's cat, but with French skill. Is it actually good? Is it not? You don't know until you try. But until then, it's impossible to know. Sort of thing. It's really frustrating. So I forced myself to do a more, simple, like, girl head because I like drawing girls. They're easy to draw because I draw them so much. I need to draw more guys because I'm not good at drawing guys. They either look really feminine or really young, but I'm really bad at drawing, like, older looking guys and just older looking people in general. So I need to practice that a lot. I'm tired. I'm mentally exhausted. But I wanted to make a video about it. I'm just gonna repeat myself if I don't stop the video here. I don't even think I'm gonna edit it at all. So yeah, I'm gonna turn my monitor back on, so you're gonna see the reflection of myself in the preview. Ooh, and stuff. Yeah, and I don't look good. I need to trim my beard. I'm really tired of shaving because it itches so much. I get really bad razor burn. Yeah. I need to get one of those, like, little beard hair trimmers things that, like, you can, like, trim it and stuff, like, shape it a bit, get rid of all the really, like, long stringly ones, make the overall silhouette look better, and stuff. Yeah. And also, I lost my comb. Like, I lost my comb, like, a few weeks ago, and I can't find it, which sucks. So, like, I can't get my hair to look not terrible, and it's too small and thin for, like, brushes to really work. So I need to get a comb. So, yeah, I think I might actually just order that, actually. Just so, like, this... if I'm going to be teaching in class for kids, I need to look at least a little more together. Look like at least I know what I'm talking about, kind of, or something. Yeah. But anyway. That's just how I'm feeling right now. Just kind of like... Plus, I'm not working for, like, 2 more weeks, so, like, a little less than 2 more weeks, so, like, I'm gonna be just kind of in my own head for a while, because I don't start work again until, like, January 10 or 12, I forget which, I need to ask, but, yeah, Anyway, that's all for now. I'm gonna end the video here. Nice 20-minute long video about me complaining about how much I suck. Bye bye.